Hi guys, this is Carrot here. Today I'm going to be talking to you about my PvP build. So in today's topics, I'll be covering the skill set of my PvP Necromancer, the legendary item that I'll be using, the green sets, the legendary gems, the Reforge, and the secondary stats, and also the invocation. So going into my build, as you can see, I use currently 4 skills, which are the Borrow Time, Bone Wall, Bone Spike, and Wraith Form. So with these 4, I want to go in depth with what I wanted to show you. So with my Bone Spike, I have 2 of the legendary items that modify the skill. So first of all, is the head. So my head, it says that Bone Spike now no longer causes Bone Spike now causes enemy to bleed for additional seconds. But the good part is that it have more charges, so it increased the maximum amount to 3 charges. So you can use it multiple times in one go. And also I also have this legendary item that goes with it, which says that Bone Spike now knock up enemies. So, and it also reduces the cooldown of Bone Spike as well. The good thing is that once you knock them up, you'll be able to chain it with another skill, which is Bone Wall. So my Bone Wall, as you can see here, it summons a pillar of rotting corpse, and I'll show you later how to do a full combo of Necromancer. So, Bone Wall summon a pillar of corpse that knock enemy up in the air. So these skills, they would have their innate cooldown. So if you look at here, it would say like Bone Spike now cause enemy to deal damage and bleed. And it says that here, but no longer start. Sorry, which one does it say? So I'm not sure if it says, but with the Bone Spike you can't knock enemy up within 3 seconds. So after you knock them up, you need to wait 3 seconds until you can knock them up again. Bone Spike now stunning them for 3 seconds, and I think that applies with Bone Wall as well. So here, player cannot be knocked up in the air by the skill more often than once every 3 seconds. So you can only knock them up once every 3 seconds, and I think it applies to Bone Spike as well. So you need to time your skill correctly. Now I'll show you later on how to chain CC your opponent, and I'll add like a Battleground video at the end to show you how I've done it in my BGs. Yep. So that was 2 of my knockup skills. So here, and here. These are the 3 legendary with my knockup skills. The pants here, I'm using Strange Sojourn. So this one recently came out, and I think it changes the whole Necromancer playstyle from supportish play to become like a very aggressive Necromancer that can now get backline. So what it says is that Wraith Form now quickly teleport you to target location, and upon arrival, you deal damage and fear all nearby enemies. So what is crazy about this is that once you use the skill, it has no fear cooldown. So once you use it, you can use it again on the enemy to chain fear, chain CC the enemy. So here, if I show you how it's done, I can test it on the dummy to show you. So usually you can look at the top of this dummy here and see the fear icon. So I would usually just start with Link in, auto attack, and then knock them up. 1, 2, then knock up again, and then fear again. So usually I would time my skill. So my fear has around 3 seconds if you look at the skills. It says fear all enemy for 3 seconds, right? And I also have my Feasting Baron, so it would increase the fear to 4 seconds. So when I use my skills, I would fear in, count 1, 2, 3, knock up, 1, 2, knock up, then fear again. This is like my whole combo within a very short amount of time. I think that's 4 or 5 seconds, but you can burst with a very large damage. Yeah. So that was 3 main skills. With my main hand and offhand, these would increase damage in some of the parts. So, for example, my first offhand, it says Bone Wall now can be ignited with Soulfires. So this thing would only be able to activate it when you auto with your Soulfire. So here, when you use the Bone Wall, it will only be a Bone Wall, right? It doesn't activate. But once you use a Soulfire on it, let's say here, you see this fire thing that goes around the Bone Wall. Here, that is when it gets activated. Once it's activated, it will do continuous damage to enemies. So you can have a look here, right? Now it continually burns the dummy, as you can see. And it's really good because once you fear them, and then you knock them up, and you know burn the thing, it deals a lot of damage to the enemy within you know, the pillars. And it also slows the enemy, so they would stuck in there, deals continual damage, and then you apply bleed to them and then keep damaging them. So that was a lot of damage all in one go. And Midnight Stroke. So, oh sorry. My last offhand is Soulfire, which it says that has 75% chance of explode on hit, dealing enemies. So this also deal DOT, damage to enemies. And then 2 of my main hand are both Wraith form. So the first one is Revenant Wind. It says that call forth 3 haunting spirits that would track enemy and slow them down. So it's a very good chasing skills. As you can see, when I blink here, there's 3 ghosts right there that go in and will slow enemy down. You can see here the ghost just ran in and then hit the enemy, slow them. Here, these blue things. And lastly, Midnight Stroke. This is one of the best because it reduces the cooldown of your Wraith form by 1.5 seconds. So what I'm having right now, the Wraith form cooldown is I think only 4 seconds. No, sorry, 6 seconds I think. Yeah, cooldown 6 seconds. So with this thing on, it would also reduce the cooldown when you got hit by 1.5 seconds. So that's 4.5 seconds cooldown, with also, you know, the cooldown reduced from the item itself, and also my awakening slot, which is another 10%. So that's like 3 seconds that was reduced, or approximately 2 seconds. So overall would be like only 3 second cooldown of my Wraith form. So I would be able to you know, chain CC my enemy all in one go for a very long time. So that's it. That's with the whole item. Now I'll go in with the green set. So the green set I'm using right now are 4 Barons and 2 Mountback. So these Barons, it's really good because it increases the duration of your harmful effects. These harmful effects are you know, stun, fear, and also, you know, if you have Sling, it would increase as well. And also Ship of Stone Flesh as well. It didn't say it here, but once you cause total loss of control, your enemy would turn into stones. So pretty much just stun them for 1 extra second as well. So Feasting Baron is really good with the fear setup. And 4 Barons, it said that increased damage done from all swords by 20% to enemies suffering under your lost control. So this thing is really good in BG because once you fear the enemy, our allies can also deal 20% extra damage to that fear enemy. So it's not just yourself that would deal more damage, it's also your allies as well. And the mountain back set would just help me survive more, because, you know, 13% of your maximum life every 9 seconds, that's a lot. That's, you know, it would happen like 2 to 3 times in like a half-minute fight if you can last that long. Yeah, so that was my green set. And then going into my legendary gems. The one I'm using is not really the best, but I just have a few that have, you know, that have 4 star. That's what I'm using for my overall resonance. So my Gloom Cask is 3 star. And oh sorry, I'll just go to my overall build. My overall build are all Gloom Cask, Echoing Shade, Seething Bow, Starfire Shard, Pin Claps, which is really good, one of the best gems that Necromancer needed, I would say, in my opinion. Blast of Jade, Tanky Set, Frozen Heart, and also Ship of Stone Flesh. So pain claps is really recommended for every necro because your nearly all your skill have damage over time. So from your bone spike bleed to the burn effect from your auto attack, and also your bone wall. It's literally everything, because once you proc it, you pretty much deal 24% more damage, and also you move faster when you are near them within 10 yards as well. So that's like your auto attack range. You would be able to catch up to your enemy very fast with pain claps. The rest are optional, but I really like Starfire shot because it actually knocks the enemy away as well. So it gives a bit of knock up, and also deal very good damage in an area. This is like a required gem for necro. Sleeping Bow is just like if you're free to play, you can also use Viper's Bite, which it has more proc chance, that's for sure. Because like once you deal damage, you pretty much just proc it compared to Sleeping Bow. If you're free to play, the three trios of gems would be Pain Claps, Viper's Bite, and Mother's Lament. Yeah. And the rest are just the rest are just optional. Ship of Stone Flesh is very good PvP because Necromancer have fear. You will always be able to proc it to any enemies. So once you blink and you fear them, they will all proc with the Ship of Stone Flesh. And Gloom Cask is it gives a bit more damage to your Necromancer, because most of your damage would come from your auto attack. I can show you here in a 20 seconds breakdown on how much Necromancer would deal damage to an enemy, and you will see like 50% of it would come from auto attack. So I'll show you here. Fear, auto attack, knock up, fear again, 4, knock up, fear again, 4, knock up, fear again. So break down 2 million damage from Soulfire. So that's auto attack, and the rest are all skills. And some are from legendary gems, but here 40% of the damage came from your auto attack, and that's why Gloom Cask is really good for PvP necro, because it gives you extra auto attack damage. That's where you'll be able to kill off all those tanky crusaders and wizard with shield and stuff. This one, the last one, I don't really recommend it because Echoing Shade is just good in PvE, but for PvP it's best if you have Mother's Lament rank 10 would be really nice, or you can use like me, like I the new event just came out, the Auxiliarian gems, so I just put in Bottle Hope instead of my Echoing Shade. Even though it's just rank 1, but it's enough. It gives extra 8% damage and movement speed for 6 seconds every time you use a buff. So if you don't use Strange Surgeon, which is a blink fear, you can always use Proximal Fear, where it just become your Wraith form just fear them upon touch. But the cooldown is very long. This one I would only recommend it when you use it in Vault. So here, become a purple Wraith, and you just go around and fear enemies. But the cooldown is very long, 7 seconds. So I would only recommend it in Vault, not in BG.
Another tale to unwrap.
And I guess that's it for the whole build. I would now go into Reforged and secondary stats, I guess. So the Reforged I'm using is all the Barrier family. So for me, why I use Barrier is because it gives first of all extra life. That's one thing. Another thing is block chance. So block chance, you have to have a better understanding of how secondary stats work. So as you can see here, I have 2,300 armor and 2,500 armor penetration. So in order for armor to work, armor actually help reduce the amount of critical damage that you would take. So let's say here, right? It says that reduce all damage taken and increase block amount. The armor is 9, or mine is lower than the current current Inferno 3. So if it was more, like the damage that was blocked would be increased, and also it would decrease the amount of critical damage that you would get as well. So let's say if my opponent have lower armor penetration than my armor, that critical hit wouldn't damage me that much. Yeah, and especially in BG where the critical hit chance would be reduced up to 70%. Every player crit chance would probably be around 10%. That's all. And what is good about the barrier is that it also increased block chance. So as you can see here, my block chance is 21%. And once my damage was blocked, it will also reduce the amount of damage taken from auto attack skills and anything. And that's what makes me be able to stay longer in fight. And that's why I'm using all barrier family. And not just me is using this. MVP Budek is also using this. Teddy is also using this. Every strong player out there, they are all going through barrier. As you can see here, Teddy is also using barrier, or barrier, block chance. Yeah, shaking block chance 17%. This will help a lot when you fight in Battleground. Yep. And also, last thing is potency and resistance. So the higher the potency, like if my potency is higher than my opponent resistance, if I were to fear them, right? Let's say here it says that when playing against player, you gain up to 50% increase in crowd control duration. So if my fear was already 3 seconds plus Feasting Baron, which is 30% of 3 seconds, that's another 1 second, so that's 4 seconds. 4 seconds, if my potency is more, right, it gives up to extra 50% of the crowd control, so another 50% of 4 seconds, so that's another 2 seconds. So I would get up to 6 second fear if my potency is more than the enemy resistance. And at the same time, if my resistance is more than the enemy potency, I would reduce the duration of all crowd control by up to 35%. And this actually is a lot. If you check my 1v1 1 versus 1 video against Akasa, you will see that I was able to withstand Akasa stunned because of the higher resistance that I have. Because if not, then I would got chained for forever. Yeah. So that's all. And yeah, I'll be showing you my BG video later, and I'll talk about it as well on how I play.